Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 4th, 17th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of what we have coming up on Wednesday, first of all, CPI numbers for the year, which is our inflation numbers for UK here, and it looks like we're expecting them to stay the same from the previous year. So if that's the case, I would not expect much of a change. If they come in positive, though, I will look for pound to go up further, so watch out for that. And then we also have the retail sales numbers here for the US as well in the New York session, and they are supposed to be better. And if the numbers come in better than expected, it will actually be good for the stock market. So we'll keep an eye on that. Other than that, not much in terms of the major news until the evening session, the Asian session, when we have employment numbers here for Australia. So looking for a bit of a decline here in terms of the employment numbers, but again, at this point, if they come in within reason here, I would not expect much of a change. Actually, I did forget here, we do have the Fed meeting here, FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow. So at this point for the Fed, pretty much everything has been said and done, like I said before. So if things stay the same, I do expect them to repeat basically what they have said before, which is that they are going to continue supporting the market. So if that's the case, not much change to be expected, but any sort of positive language from them, from the Fed in terms of supporting the markets will be positive for the stock market. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so let's move on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. As we had discussed yesterday, euro here struggled with our support resistance level. It did try to go through into the next level, but failed. So now we have a nice bearish pin bar here. So in this case, I am looking for a bit of a drop here towards 1.2050. So price has been trading in this level, in this kind of range here. Overall, this is a range. So right now, looking for a move back into this support resistance area. This is a nice strong support resistance area, and we could get a bounce, so watch out. Otherwise, I'm looking for a bit of a move lower here towards a 1.20 level, and then we could get a bounce off of this trend line here. So right now, bias is bearish for euro dollar. Target is a 1.20, and then a 1.2050, and potentially into 1.200. Pound dollar here, pound did go up here all the way into 1.3950, but today's candle close here is neutral. So I am looking for a drop. So in terms of the drop here, we may see price come into 1.3850, or it could go all the way into the bottom of this candle here into 1.3770. So one of those levels, but the candle close here is neutral, which means we are likely to see a bit of a pullback, and then we may see a further continuation, but we'll wait for that. For now, neutral bias here for pound dollar, looking for a bit of a pullback. 1.3850 is the first target, 1.3770 is the second target here. Aussie dollar here, Aussie also went up, but as we can see, price went into this support resistance level, didn't quite make into the highs, but we have a nice bearish engulfing candle close here, which means we are likely to see a drop here into 0.7710. So bias here is bearish, and first target 0.7710, then 0.7665. So bearish bias here. Now keep in mind, we do have the Fed statement tomorrow, which will have an impact on the US dollar. So the US dollar crosses here will likely be impacted by that. But for now, based on technicals alone here, we're looking for a bit of a drop here. New Zealand dollar here, this one as well, as we had discussed, there is this support resistance level that price has struggled with. Now, as we can see, it did try to go through, failed, and now we have a bearish pin bar. So with this one as well, looking for a bit of a drop here. First target is 0.7170, and if it manages to get through that, we're looking at 0.7130. So essentially, it has been trading in this bit of a range here. So we're looking for price to, it has rejected the top of the range. So looking for price to continue lower here towards the midpoint and then the bottom of the range here. So 0.7170 and 0.7130 will be the next two targets here. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one as well, we see price dropped a bit, but couldn't really hold. So now we have a bullish engulfing candle. So at this point, looking for a further move higher here back towards 1.2740. So bullish bias here. But again, it's not exactly bullish, basically looking for a bit of a pullback. This one has also been trading in a range here, so looking for price to come back towards the middle of the range. At this point, 1.2740 and then 1.2765 will be the next two levels to target. All right, so let's take a look at our commodities, starting off with silver here. Silver went up almost into 28, made into 27.93, and then it has come back down. So this one is still trading sideways here, no clear direction in this case. It did hold the resistance level though. So right now I would be looking for a retest of the support level at 26.72. If it holds, then we're looking for a move back into the range. So neutral bias here, neutral to slightly bearish, just looking for a move towards the bottom of the range at 26.72. Gold here, gold had quite a drop here. It did hold below the 1830 as we had discussed, but it dropped quite a bit all the way into the support here. So bearish bias, but watch out for the support. Last time price was here, it did bounce off. So that's something to keep an eye out for, but bearish bias only if it goes through the support level at 1785, then we are looking for 1774. So bearish bias, but with caution. Oil here, oil hasn't really done a whole lot. So with oil, there are supply chain issues with Texas being hit with the cold weather. There has been shutdown because of that. As a result of that, oil supply chain getting disrupted. So it's kind of holding sideways here. Not really, it's not going up, but it's not really dropping either. So I'm looking for a range bound move here. We may get a retest of the low here, 59.30. If it holds, then basically looking for a bit of a sideways move here for oil. So neutral bias for oil. Copper here, copper still looking bullish, but the momentum seems to be fading here. So I'd keep an eye on that. Still has that bullishness. 3.83 is the target. So I would say 3.81 and then 3.83 will be the next two targets. But watch out, the price is compressing. It's losing momentum here, so we could get a turn. So keep an eye on that. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin went right into the 50,500 mark. It's still holding here, so there's still bullishness here. And with this one, once it really holds above the, I would say 50,000 level, then we could get another leg higher here. But for now, I would say neutral to bullish bias here. It has to hold above the 50,000 mark for it to really continue higher. So target here, first target is 50,500, and then we're looking at 52,000 as the next target here. So neutral to bullish bias for Bitcoin. S&P 500, with this one, we did see a bit of a drop here. Now we do have a bearish candle close, not a huge candle, but basically looking for a bit more of a pullback here into the support level at 38.85. So looking for this type of a move. So a bit of a pullback, and if it holds, then we're basically looking at a range bound move here for S&P 500. So 38.85 is the target. Nasdaq here, this one as well, we see it couldn't really hold, has dropped. So for this one as well, looking for a pullback towards 13,600. So back into the support resistance level. So bearish bias here for Nasdaq. Dow Jones not really doing a whole lot at this point. Very, very small candle close, neutral here. We may get a pullback though into the support level here again. So this is also range bound at the moment. So looking for a retest of the low of the range at 31,220. And then if it holds, then back into towards the top here. So neutral bias here for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, DAX failed to go through the resistance, couldn't really make it. We have a bearish candle close, so looking for a bit of a drop here towards 13,890. So bearish bias here for DAX as well. FTSE here, FTSE did go into that resistance level and then bounced off of that level. So now we could get a further drop here back into this 6680 level. So watch out for that. And then a further move higher. So bias is slightly bearish here for FTSE. All right, last but not least here, we have Nikkei. Nikkei went up as expected, not quite into 30,800, but 30,720. But it seems to be bouncing off of this level. It's back into the beginning of the candle here. So now if it goes through, then we could see it go all the way towards 29,700. So right now bias is neutral. We'll have to see can this level hold. If it does, we may get a bit of a further move higher like that. But once it drops here, this candle is a bit of an inefficient move. So we are likely to see this one fulfilled here. 29,720 is the target here. And then we could see a further move from here. So bias here is neutral for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.